Live in YouTube. Go here. Good evening, friends, relatives, Romans. Okay. Right. Good evening, all. So I'm just now looking because, as before, as you know, I'm the Cornishmedium Dez Richards. When we kept doing this stuff before in my other house, we had a pussycat, Hermes, and it would just purr. But unfortunately now we've moved in and we've got an American Bulldog as a pet. So fingers crossed, Lilybell would be nice and not bark or raise her voice, but if so, it's not me, it's the dog. So thank you for joining us this evening and just trying to find out, you know, what random thing Dez has got up to, because obviously I've been quiet the last couple of weeks, or maybe even a month, I suppose, since I've been online. And as I said, as you know, I was doing a stream on a Sunday, which we will be doing again, but it just wasn't working because obviously that really was the World Beyond show. So I've had this obviously idea of the Delta, where obviously, as I said, it's where two worlds meet, and what we're doing is obviously there's Tony and Charlie, which I'll introduce you to them in a minute or two. And what we're going to do is obviously we're going to be talking about spirit. I'm going to be teaching them. They're going to be teaching me stuff as well. Okay, because as you know, information is best shared. And obviously Charlie has been to a couple of circles, same as Tony. So that hopefully they'll bring new ideas, because I haven't been to a circle for 30 odd years now, so things have changed. So hopefully we can combine some of the old school teaching from the south and some of the new school, and then hopefully the people who are watching can then get what you want from the evenings, and as I was saying to the girls, I said even if people just want to listen and know that their loved one, their wife, their mum, their dad is okay on the other side, and if we can do that to a few of you, brilliant, then it's worth running this show. So hiya Georgie, hiya Julia, and as I said, the girls don't know who's watching, they don't know the comments, so it's a bit like Gogglebox, spiritual development, everything all in one. Because as you know, if anybody knows me, it's going to get bizarre, all right? Just simply because I have a weird mind, but obviously it's time to share it with everybody, and I'm doing that simply because Charlie did shock me the other day, which we'll introduce. She shocked me because she went to an event like this online, and she was asked to part with about £2,500. So I do have to say, if anybody wants to make money out of mediumship, if anybody thinks that they can make money out of it, you don't need me, loves. Okay, What you need is a degree in social engineering or Facebook, social marketing. Get yourself a pack of angel cards and bullshit. Okay, that's all you really need to do. Okay, if you want to make money. Okay, we're not here to make money. Okay, we're here to give you greater understanding about yourself, about the spirit world, and about the universe that we all live in, but nobody talks about. Okay, so I know that 8 or 10 of you now will turn off because, you know, they're just saying we won't be able to make any money. I'm not going to listen. But if you do, you'll become a better person from this experience, and then you'll be able to pass that on to your family and your friends. And once again, if we can do that, brilliant. Okay, so hi, Spirit Christine. There's a couple of us, obviously, people that have waited up all night. It's 5 a.m. In Australia. So thank you for joining us, Chris. And obviously, if you can get anything from this as well, brilliant. As I said, and in time, you will become readers, you will become psychics, and you will become mediums. Okay? Because it's simple. Okay? And between me, Charlie, and Tony, we'll be able to tell you how simple it is. Okay? The girls I've known for a while now, but obviously since moving to Worthing, I haven't spoken to them for a couple of years. So it's nice. So we're going to get back as friends, but I don't know what's going on in their lives, etc. So it's all new to me as well. So what we're going to do a minute is get me off the screen a minute, and then join the ladies. So what we're going to do, because they can't see these random screens a minute. Okay. So they can't see that a minute. So there we go. So see if we can get them up. See, all these mod cons I spent months doing. And what we'll have to do a minute is quickly. Right. Thank you guys. And yeah, there we go, 3 screens. Right, what I've been told to do is remind you while I get the girls online where this all comes from, okay? Because I must be one of the luckiest guys, clairvoyants, because I've never seen a medium do this before. But I can give you a picture of my guide in print form, Great Bear. That's Patrick Gamble. And also in spirit, where the purple orb is Great Bear. Okay, that orb, you know, it is, and we all have one that follows us around. All right, which once again we'll talk about more in the weeks, or you know, I won't say months to come, but weeks to come, most definitely. But they're my guides. Okay, and we'll talk about orbs, we'll talk about the colour of orbs, we'll talk about the importance of the colour of orbs. Okay, so but I'm really chuffed, I can actually say that, and as you know, in the future Great Bear is going to become a 3D character as my friends now come in, which is brilliant. They've timed it right, because they'll take the dog out the bag, which is brilliant. So we'll just obviously wait, there we go, for everybody to come in and settle down. The dog will go crazy. Anyway, right, this is the group, ladies and gents, boys and girls. We have, in the middle is Tony, and then the other side is Charlie. And as I said, there's 2 girls with 2 boys' names. Blows my mind, okay? But obviously, at least we got names and they're not theys and its and all that type of stuff. Okay. Hopefully, the people that are watching as well will understand that the 3 of us, we don't work with labels, okay, because we're not international mediums. international TV mediums. We're just lovely people. And as I said, I'm just waiting. There we go. The door's closed. Cheers, guys. Right, now we can start. The dog is out the back. Okay. So so once again, Tony and Charlie have been asking me for months, years even, to get together and do this. Okay. So they're at that what state? Oh, state. That sounds really bad. State. What level do you think you're at of understanding girls? Charlie, first. Like, how far are you? Or give the people that are watching some idea about yourself. Not introduce yourself, but
With you, I've done my religion 1 and 2. I obviously have got my own page to do cards and readings. I'm confident in myself, but not as confident as I could be.
Good. So what type of background have you got? Have you got like a religious, or have you just got a,
No, not religious. I think my family was Catholics, but not myself.
Okay, so you've just stumbled on mediumship or spiritual, well, just by knowing me, really, wasn't it?
My first reading, actually, I was 18. So I always had an interest. And I think that comes from my mum, because she did.
Oh, cool.
But as you know, since my dad died, I think the interest grew more.
Yeah, and that's what happens, doesn't it? Somebody loses somebody, like a mum, a dad, a husband, wife, girlfriend, or what have you. And then that draws that interest as well. Yeah. So, well, I know you, Tony, from old, but I know you that as in you started life more with the paranormal.
Yes,
Yeah, I think you've got your hand over the mic.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Right, it's because I'm holding the phone. I've got quite a high interest in this kind of thing. Understand a lot, but there's a lot more that I need to understand, that I need to learn. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah, which is great. Well, and I do have to put my hand up here. Actually, Tony didn't know anything about this until 2 days ago.
He likes very much.
I just made her up and I said, "What are you doing on Thursday?" She said, "Nothing." I said, "Brilliant. You're coming online with me." She was like,
"Yes." I don't know if that's the same thing. Tony's quite echoey.
So are you.
Yeah, okay, no, that's all right. I'll just turn you down my end. It's fine. But thank you for telling me. You should be all right now. So these, as I said, Tony, as I said, she didn't know until yesterday or the day before. Charlie knew about a week ago, or at the weekend, because I didn't want to tell her too much, because obviously it's Charlie's first time online. I know that obviously it's like when you do your first spiritual reading or your church reading, you have that like butterflies in your stomach and stuff. So this is why I didn't tell anybody until like a couple of days before. So they just know nothing about what we're going to do. And my big thing is, as the dear friends who are watching will know, my big thing about mediumship, about clairvoyance, about healing, about anything in that way is, and this is what people don't understand me when I try to teach or when I try to like inform people. It's becoming a spiritual person. Once you become a spiritual person, everything comes to you, and it is as simple as that. And I go on and harped on for the last 20 years and nobody believes me. So hopefully talking, to yourself, Tony and Charlie, over time you'll understand, and then and most people will, we're talking and we're developing, with your understanding you will change as people, because there's no way that you can know all the stuff that you're going to learn without changing. All right, I know that, and I picked, for the people that are watching, I picked Charlie and Tony because I know that they are in secure relationships. Okay, I know that their partners are behind them in this, because once again, I do this in any course. I always say, is your husband, because this doesn't cause breakups, but with different understandings, it does sometimes. Okay, but I know them, and I know that their partners are fine with this, and I don't expect them to be breaking up anytime soon. All right. So if the people that are watching, if you want to get involved, just think about, where you are, where your relationship is, because if you go into the living room one day to your husband and start talking about what we're going to talk about tonight and weeks to come, you'll freak them out. And then you get this big divide about you understanding a greater world and then not. Okay, so I have chosen these two lovely guinea pigs, with some thought, which is brilliant. So to me, it's a spiritual person, and obviously we've got a couple of things that will come, and the girls don't know, but it will add a bit to the show, and we'll be able to talk about stuff, because obviously if you was around in the spiritual churches in the 80s, so we're going back, probably, was you both born in the 80s?
86.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm older than you, remember.
Of course. Sorry. Yes, I remember. I'm not going to say anything about that.
I just look well for the age.
But I won't say exactly, but you do, because actually I remember some people that I've linked in with, and I know what decade they go back to.
Other user EPR A9.
See, now I'm on my phoning me up for no reason. It's cool. Yes, of course you go back to that, to the 70s, like myself.
So, a bit before then as well, actually.
Well, don't give your whole age away. Anyway.
I don't care.
Cool. But once again, there was a guy, basically an Australian, that used to go into trance and stuff, and his Native American guide was called Silver Birch, and there was a lot of with the spiritual type of theme about him. But I've got some clips of obviously a book that he wrote within trance, but it's nice because it talks about the universe, about the Great Spirit, okay, which once again we could call God, we could call Allah.
Rich EPR
See,
HCAS5P5VG Cot JK7 Book 6K.
And this is why we do it. Hello, darling, you're live on air. Hello. Excuse me, but this is the way the show's supposed to go. Hello, darling. Hello. Anyway. Hello. Okay. Well, my wife's trying to phone me for something, which is cool. We'll find out. It's probably like, have you ate or something, it's non-spiritual. But it's cool. So what we'll do is play the clip in a minute, because once again, to me, there is this energy, there is this thing that connects us all. All right, and it doesn't matter what name you want to put on it. I'm not into names. I'm more into feelings, as you both know. Once again, if you want to put a name on it, you can. But there is something that connects us all. Yeah? Are we on the same page there?
Yeah.
Now is the time to say no. But even the people that are watching, there's something that connects us all together, and it connects nature, controls the tides, controls the weather, and it's something greater than us. And this is what we will be doing, is linking into that energy, linking into that powerful energy. And once you can link in to the universe, okay, then everything is at your disposal. Okay, and when I mean everything, we're talking everything. Because my guides go back to, because I saw a lovely clairvoyant the other day, mentioning no names because they all do the right job. But she is a lady, and she was saying, oh, I've got 30 years experience, what have you. And at that point, I turned her off, because I was thinking, no, if you was a clairvoyant, you would know that you would have over 250,000 years of history. Okay, because my guides and Sue Searle's guides, because I've spoken to her guides as well, they all go back to the beginning of time. Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. We're not talking about now. We're not talking about when my mum died 3-4 years ago. When we talk about spirituality, when we talk about the spirit world, when we talk about the universe, our time scale changes. Yeah, from the one life that we're in now, which could be 80 years, to Charlie probably already having 50 lives at 80 years. So that's 400 years, if I can do my maths right. And if I haven't done it, somebody will comment and go, no, Dez, but you've been around for 400 or 500 years already. Yeah, same as Tony, and same as anybody that's watching. And it's like teaching you, or not teaching, but giving you that understanding so that you can link into all of that history, all of those 50 years. Yeah, Charlie's looking at me a bit silly now. She's looking at me going, I don't really understand you, Des.
No, I understand.
Okay, cool. Did I know you were into your past lives as well? Cool. But this is what, once again, over the weeks we're going to spend together, we'll delve into them. Because once you find out, obviously, about your whole spirit life, that's when things make sense. Because at the moment, like the two of you, like me, like everybody online, somebody came to me the other day and said, I just feel lost. I don't feel connected. I don't feel part of this world that we're in now. And I'm like, yeah, but you've chose this life, etc. But this is the scale of knowledge, of understanding that hopefully between the three of us will be able to project to the people that are watching. All right, because you're both old souls. This is why we're all here. We just got over the next couple of weeks find out which life entangles us together. Sorry, I'm already smiling because as you know, they speak to me. Sorry, and I've just got a voice going, I bet you're going to find out Charlie was once your mother. And I believe Tony would have been. It's more of a sister thing with you and me, isn't it?
I was going to say sister.
Yeah, it's more of a sister link at some point that we'll find out about. And that's why we're all together now. So while obviously my friends come in and get settled, and obviously I text my other half back to say, excuse me, love. What we'll do is obviously I'm going to play you the a little clip here, which I'm just thinking you won't be able to hear it, will you? Yes, you will. 2 seconds. Right, guys. Right, what we're going to do is make myself disappear. And then what we're going to do is add input, this is 27, play around. But this is what we love about this doing things ad hoc. There we go, Silver works, Great Spirit. There we go.
Question. Who or what is the Great Spirit? Is it love? The Spirit? Question. Who
Can you
or
hear that?
what is the Great Spirit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is it love? The Spirit, or feeling of love in everything? The Great Spirit is the natural law of the universe, the creative force behind all life, whether registered in the plane of matter or in the plane of spirit. The Great Spirit is perfect love and perfect wisdom. The Great Spirit pervades all the universe, whether it is that tiny portion known to you or that larger part which as yet has not been revealed to your earthly gaze. The Great Spirit fills all life. The Great Spirit is within all beings. The Great Spirit is within all laws. The Great Spirit is the Great Spirit. He is life. He is love. He is everything. How can we, who are but the servants, describe the Master? How can we, whose conceptions are puny, describe that which is of immeasurable magnitude? Question. In the whole of history, has the Great Spirit ever spoken without coming through a spirit entity? The Great Spirit is not a person. The Great Spirit is not a deified individual. The Great Spirit is beyond personality. The Great Spirit is the epitome of law, love, wisdom, truth. The Great Spirit is the law, the infinite intelligence operating ceaselessly in a mighty universe. Spirit form. What shape do we take in the spirit world? You won't be a ghost, spectre or phantom. You won't be headless. You won't have your head under your arm. You won't have clanking chains. You will be a real individual with a body and features which enable you to be recognized by others. You will have all the senses which enable you to recognize others. You will have the entire spiritual apparatus which is necessary for you to function in our world. You will have form, you will have shape, you will have individuality. What you would not have are the physical organs, but you will have correspondingly all the spiritual equipment necessary for you to function in our world. Question. How would you explain the Great Spirit to children? That is not a difficult task if one who is to do the explaining has a clear conception of the power which is behind all life. For myself, I would point to the divine artistry of nature's handiwork. I would point to the stars, the diamonds in the sky. I would point to the glory of the sun, to the pale reflection of the moon. I would point to the whispering, murmuring breeze, to the nodding pines. I would point to the trickling stream and to the mighty ocean. I would touch every facet of nature, showing how each is controlled by purpose, by law. I would add that where man has made any discovery in the field of natural life, he finds it comes within the orbit of law, that its growth is controlled and regulated, that it is part of one vast, intricate, yet harmonious pattern, that order reigns supreme throughout the vast universe. controlling planets and insects, storms and breezes. All life, no matter how variegated its expression may be. And then I would say the mind behind all that, the power that sustains it all, the force that controls the vast panorama of the universe and the many other worlds that you have not yet seen, is what we call the Great Spirit. A spirit view of God. Question. We are told that God knows when a sparrow falls. How is it possible for God to know all that happens to all the vast population of the world, not to mention the countless millions who have passed on? That which is called God is the natural law of the universe. The Great Spirit is within everything. Everything is the Great Spirit. Because the soul knows itself, the Great Spirit knows the soul. Because the sparrow is the Great Spirit knows the sparrow. Because the Great Spirit is the trembling leaf is the Great Spirit. Throughout the whole of your world and mine, throughout the universe, even in worlds which are not yet known to you, the laws of the Great Spirit reign supreme. Nothing happens outside those laws. Therefore, all is known because all comes within the compass of natural law, which is the Great Spirit.
So hopefully you could all hear that and got something from it, because obviously, you know, that's a way to blow everybody's mind, talking about the Great Spirit and about the leaves become the Spirit and extra. But as I said, it's the laws, and once we can understand the laws, then we can work with the laws. Okay, Charlie?
Yeah, I was
yeah.
thinking Tony was alright.
No, she's fine.
Yeah, I'm finally just got something in my eye.
Yeah. It's like, Charlie, if a lady's got a tear, you just go with it. You don't ask why.
No, I actually seriously had something in my eye.
That's it. So once again, once we know the laws of how we work, of what we're working with, then it becomes easy in my magical mind. Because obviously the people that are watching, thank you for, and hopefully you got something from that as well. Because obviously I was, interested in obviously the shape and the form. And as we know, and as Tony knows, doing a paranormal type bit, that's how they come back to us. So when we're doing a reading, they will come back in that form. So that's how, when we do readings, you know it's mum, you know it's dad. Because once again, there's no point in them coming back as somebody that you won't, or that your sitter will not recognise. Okay, so that's why they will come back as mum, and they'll be, So it's nice to know that they still have that form. So with the mediumship and with the next couple of weeks, it's learning how to blend, or how to basically tune in to that energy. Yeah. So then once you can tune in, then I stand back, because your guides will do everything for you. Okay. And for the people that are watching may not know, when I talk about guides, what I talk about is our invisible friends. I always call them invisible friends because I've had them now for 50 odd years. So they have become like a lifetime friend. And we will go into a lot more in depth over the next weeks or so. But basically you're, I won't say issued with a guide, but a guide depicts you. And when I talk about a guide, I talk about a higher spiritual being, okay, that doesn't have to come back to this side of life anymore, okay. So they've done their hundreds of lives, and now they become like a guide level. So being a guide in the spirit world is like level 1, okay. And there's lots of levels, mainly 7, and I love it because you've got the 7 chakras. You've got 7's the magical spiritual number, it seems, okay. And then to blow everybody's mind, okay, the point of being Dez Richards, Charlie, Tony, is to vibrate or become how to say it, is our orb that I showed you earlier, purple. We start with a white orb, which is like, you know, the basic orbs, and then basically they go up into colour, same as the chakras. Starts white, red, and then they obviously go on to purple, which is the highest colour. Okay. Long story short, the idea is then in the world of spirit, we vibrate that high and become that clear, or that vibration, that then we become, or we have our own universe. Okay, we become gods of our own universe. Okay, so that's nothing to do with reading and spiritual stuff, or, you know. But, you know, once again, this is, you know, the vastness, the scale, you know, of what our lives are. Okay, you know, because we thought about it the other day about you know, because there is. What's the figure 8 sign again? Infinity.
Infinity.
Yeah, because once again there is it, and everybody, you can't, you know. And I was thinking, how can I understand, or how can I tell people about infinity? And I'm thinking, yeah, it's just one of those random things that if you was on a straight road, so maybe not in Cornwall because they're bendy roads, but you get one of those highways in Australia or America. You know, with straight roads. And then I was thinking, so if I walk down that road for 100 years or 1,000 years of my life, I still wouldn't get to the end of it. That would be back and front. So, you know, I would be walking, say, for 2,000 years, and I wouldn't even get close to being at the end. Okay? So once again, and then you know, then you're thinking, okay, I can walk at how many miles a day, etc. But then you times that, and you'll never get there. All right, because there are, believe it or not, probably, I won't say millions, but millions of universes. Okay, which hopefully, if you stay with us, guys and girls, you can then visit. Okay. Because that's when the telepathy comes into it, and time travel, okay, where you can visit the different universes that you've already been to, okay, and then you can go back and stuff like that. But that's just a tipple for what's going to come in months to come. All right, just to keep the people watching. It's right. But once again, this is the scale. This is the vastness of what you know, what we're trying to talk, or what we're trying to, you know, give the information out there, you know. And this is why when I talk about my life, I talk about, you know, the hundreds of years of lives, or thousands, and not just the little one that we're in now. Okay, because obviously, as we all know, we're only alive for 80. If we get to 100, we're laughing, you know. But mostly 70 to 80. I mean, people are dying younger now, unfortunately. So yeah, so this part of, you know, of our lives are very, very quick. And it's up to myself and Tony and stuff, because this is my last time, as you all know, is to give everybody the information, so then I can become a guide. So, you know, so I'm just looking out there for the people on Facebook. I'm going to go, right, I'm going to come back and haunt you. I'm going to butt away. All right. And perhaps that's where the saying comes from, you know, I'm going to come back and haunt you. but it's linking in with that energy that, once again, I'm not going to put any names on it, but once we learn to do that, everything comes in, okay? Because my understanding is that we come from spirit, so to me it's a logical thing to be part of that world, yeah, and not be afraid of it, because eventually we are going back there, believe it or not. And if you don't believe it, that's totally fine by me, because we all believe things differently. We all have different beliefs, which is cool. That's what makes the world go around, But hopefully, watching us and watching the girls, you will have that, that understanding belief that, we have lots of lives, and when we're here on this side, we have to do as much as we can. As much learning, as much sharing as we possibly can, because that gets us gold stars for when we go back to the other side. And we were talking earlier on with Charlie, because obviously we picked up something the other day which we'll share with everybody at a later date. But Spirit understands the small things. They don't worry about the big things. You could give £1 million to charity, they won't give a shite, okay? Because it's physical, it's material. But if you spend a minute or two with somebody at the bus stop, or somebody that that lives alone, if you give them your time and your energy, that's what gets all your bonus points. I'm not saying that we're after gold stars before we get to the other side, but we are. We all should be. We should be all trying to get those gold stars things, and bang, 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 bang. But it's the small things. It's the small things, and this is where, the mediumship and the ease, to my head, the ease of it. Because, to me, mediumship's a very small part of a massive thing. So Charlie, what did you get from that great spirit? Once again, I'm not putting you on the but just obviously, have you got any views? Because obviously I'm just talking, and Anime said, "Don't make it your show."
The way that I always explain to the kids about things like spirit is always in the forms, like they said, with the stars. So since my dad died, he become like a star to the kids. I've always said to them that everything's around us. I don't really know what else to say to that.
No, which is fine, because it's your first time, offering yourself up, okay, which is a very important thing. So the two of you joining me, and I see that there's lots of people that would join me as well, but we're just trying to cut it down, sorry, I forgot that. What did you say, Charlie? You were saying about forms?
No.
Okay, no, sorry. It's all about service. Sorry, that's they're just reminding me. Okay, because the three of us here, because we're up in the public eye, and it's understanding that once again we're here to do a service to each other and to the other side as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody hates the word service, which I love, because it's an old Victorian word, and they go and serve, go and da. And my grandparents would say that, and I wouldn't understand them until I'm not their age yet, but getting there close. We've got about 12 grandkids, so we are there. And it's but once they know, and as I said, when I say they, to the people that are watching, spirit, your guides, once they know that you're willing to work and that you want to work, and when I say work, I don't say that to freak anybody out, because everybody thinks work or 9 to 10, No, when I mean work in this sense, I mean be a part of them. Have that connection. And yes, we over the next couple of weeks we will work on strengthening that connection. Yeah. So once you once you start vibrating that higher vibration, okay, and then understand that we don't live in we don't live in a world of labels. We don't it's a case of moving a layer above, or a dimension.
Yeah.
Okay, because we did a show a while ago about like the different dimensions, about a lot of the world is on the fourth dimension, where it's all me, and then you get the fifth dimension, which is the people that are going me, but I understand different things. So like they're me, but then they're the ones that give £1 million, say, to charity and think that they're doing a good job. So the sixth ones are the people that vibrate higher, like ourselves, that understand that we don't need that. That we don't need the material things. And once you get that clear connection, once again, not saying that you will understand, because you'll understand already, but once you get that, it just blows your mind. Yeah, because then you understand that there's a you'll just understand that you get along better in life if it's us, and not me.
Yeah.
And this is my bag, and this is why I get frustrated with a lot of so-called spiritual people, is that they're still vibrating on this me.
Yeah.
And that's why I said at the beginning of the show, anybody watching, don't look for us to become, because it's, a medium that rips people off. The spirit will know, your guide will know, and you'll just get your ass kicked when you get to the other side. I love it because it's simple as they'll just kick your ass, and you'll have to come back again and do this life all over again. And wouldn't you like to be going to another universe or another planet with alien existence? That sounds a lot better than coming back here again anyway. And everybody says to me, like, how do you get into it? Yeah, okay, thank you. So Charlie, obviously I'm only picking on you because you've just been to like a couple of groups and stuff, and I know that people are probably shouting down the I won't say the phone because Anna May won't speak to me now. It's a case of grounding. What do you think about that? Because I've got a thing about grounding. And when I say grounding, if you go to any social circle, any development group, they go crazy on grounding. Mm-hmm. So what did you make?
The circle that I went to, she was in, because grounding can be done by meditation, can't it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't really into that. She sometimes used to tell me to ground myself, by walking on the ground or taking myself to the beach, that physical body contact. But when I'd done that online, it was grounding through meditation.
Cool. So take us through that then, because once again, the people that are watching may like to meditate, and they may go, "Oh, cool."
It was a really. I explained it to you, Dez. It was just like a 2-minute, because they said if you wanted it more, you had to pay for it.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, it was literally just like a 2-minute where you shut your eyes, you concentrate on your breathing. That was pretty much it for because it was the grounding and protection one together. It was only like a 2-minute, that one.
Yeah.
But with the circle I went to, it was more of that like physical touch where she'd say like go out, walk on your grass, being quiet, take yourself to the beach, be barefoot. So you've literally just got that physical touch. So they're the two differences of meditation that I've had.
Cool. So yeah, so
Grounding,
what's
sorry. They're the
yeah,
two
'cause-
different experiences for grounding that I've had.
cool. So once again, for the people who are watching, grinding is a word that you'll like, you know, come across a lot of the times. You know, if you're online, they'll like, we'll do this, we'll grind you, da 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 da. All right. You know, once again, to me, I've got to be, you know, okay, no, I'm teaching, da, 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 they're just saying go for it. There's the people that are watching know you anyway, so it's cool. Right, with grinding as such, it's this case of, because we will be dealing with energy, i.e., you know, the spirit energy. Obviously, they do say that if you don't grind yourself, like say before or after sitting, you end up being up in the fairies. You know, you're still operational on the fairy line. And I'm not talking about fairies that go across the water, the ones that flap around. You know, and that's where the saying comes from. God, you're off with the fairies. You know, because you're not grinded. Okay, but you know me. Hopefully, we'll be able to teach you that you won't need grinding, and it's better to be away with the fairies. Because when you're away with the fairies, it's so much more fun. Tony's like, she's always off with the fairies.
I'm there.
It is. But as I was going to say, just with that, for the people that are watching, because obviously they may take it a lot more serious than I do, which is fine. You know, we can all do that. Basically, as Charlie said, when we grind, it's just snapping ourselves out of that connection. Okay.
I was always the whole short, whatever. That we're
Your fingers over your thing again.
when we open up to a spirit world, we're opening a door,
Yeah.
and if we don't ground ourselves, we're leaving that door wide open.
Yeah.
And we need to ground ourselves to be able to close that doorway and to close that connection. That's how I've always been led to believe, and how I've been taught, learned, however you want to put it.
Which is brilliant.
And I do get told an awful lot that I do need to ground myself more than I do.
Which is brilliant, because you've thank you for that, Tony, because you said the magic word like gateway. Okay, and once again, this is why I brought these lovely girls on, because they'll give me words that I haven't heard for ages. Like, of course, the gateway. Da 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 da. Right, my big thing about that is, why not have it open all the time? Why close it?
Yeah, mine, as you know yourself, Des,
Yeah.
mine is always open.
This is it. I was called a leaky medium, and I'm like, no, because once again, you come from the spirit world. They're part of you. Why close the door on them? Why go, I'm only working with you now for the next hour, and after that hour you can F off? Because that's really what we're saying to our guides. In that
How
way.
I look at that is, you wouldn't close your door on the faces of your loved ones if they was here in person. So why do it when they're not here in the physical form?
Well, because because your guides is more connected to you than your family. Your guide your guide's there 24/7 until you die. Your family come and go. Your family
Yeah.
only come to you when you think about them. But your spirit guide and your lifetime guide is there when you're sleeping, when you're in the shower, when you're taking a shite. But they do stay outside the door.
Oh, cheers for that, Dez.
You know, and this is what I don't.
Des has told me things he shouldn't have known before.
And if there's any clairvoyants watching, if there's any, they're going to be, you know, freaking right out because they're like, Des, what are you talking about? You know, it's like you're teaching bad stuff here. But to me, it's common sense, and I don't understand. You know, this is where I don't understand where the new way of doing it is. You know, and this is why, you know, we all come together, because hopefully at the end of it we'll be able to paint a picture that everybody can understand, whether it's be through me, through Tony, through Charlie. You know, we will get there. But that's what I always think is. But as you said, it's the gateway, and if you meditate, you always go across to the spirit world. Okay, I work the theory about bring the spirit world into your life. You know, become part of that world in this life. And so we don't have to then wait until the next life to remember it all. Yeah?
Yeah.
Charlie's just like 2 feet back. I'm like, I can see her smiling, but she's like grimacing as well, going, okay, da, 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 da. But does that make sense to you though, Charlie?
Yeah. There's with the grounding though, and then like when people choose to do it, do you think they do it as a way of them feeling it could be an energy drain?
They do, but the thing is this like, you are right, and I'm not going to take that away from you because you've been told that, and whoever told you that is correct in a way. You know me, it's like yes, but no. So, yeah, but no, because that's because the thing is, yes, they drain your energy, but when you are connected to spirit, they give you energy.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said before. So it's that confliction, you know, in... Yes. As I said to you the other day, and I say to everybody, when we do start connecting or when we start reading, yes, do not do 10 readings a day because you will be shattered. Okay? But if you do that 10 readings, you're going to be knackered. But 2 hours later, you won't be able to go to sleep because you'll have so much energy. Because once again, they want, and as I always say, when I say they, you know, our friends on the other side, they want to work with you. They spent all their lives waiting to work with you. They're not going to screw you up. They're not going to make you ill. They're not going to put you in a position that you can't handle. Okay, and this is what we talk about, me and Charlie, and you know, off air, you know. Where, you know, that's where I come from is, yes, grind, there's no reason, and we'll, you know, next week we'll get together and we'll do some like grinding techniques that I'll find online from somebody else, because once again, you know, I'm the school of thought that, you know, if you're bringing spirit into your world, they will give you the energy. Yeah. You know, yes, everybody goes, yes, it is, but you know, you'll have so much, you'll blow a fuse, and it's like you'll only blow a fuse once again if it's not normal to you, because then that's the human reaction. Yeah.
Because your body's like, I don't understand this, you know. But this is the way that we're doing it this way, and hopefully everybody's enjoying it, is that it's the gentle approach. You bring them into your life. You become friends with them. They become part. You speak to them every single day. Like every hour, I speak to my guide more than to do my wife, because I never see her because she's at work. You know, and I just happily sat down, okay, right guys, you know, and we'll have a conversation, or they'll say a joke or something just to make me smile and go, you know, life's not bad. You know, but you know, I'm, you know, once again, you know, as in, but I want people to be able to do that without meditating, without thinking about switching yourself on and off. It should be natural and easy, which it is. And everyone's going, Des, you've never told us how easy it is. You keep going on about how easy it is. Wait, ladies and gents, because obviously that will be for next week. See, this is just a taste of what's going to come. Because as I keep saying to Charlie, and she went, as in, what you said the other day, didn't you? You said, let's do some meditation, you know, have we got any music and stuff? And what did I say to you?
Quiet.
Peace and quiet.
Is that what you're on about when you said the quiet? Yeah.
Yeah, peace and quiet, and it's free to us all. Apart from if you've got a dog and kids, then it's quite hard to get peace and quiet. And I do.
My case, a parrot.
in a parrot as well. I do get that out there, and I do understand. You know, people are going, Des, I can't get peace and quiet. I mean, luckily, my dear friends, my daughter's gone upstairs for the evening because I banned her from the living room where I'm set up. You know. But it is that peace and quiet, and to me, you know, it's that simple. You know, we've all heard people go, and as Charlie said, one of her colleagues, you know, said about going down to the beach to ground and stuff, you know, or to the woods, be in nature.
Nature, yeah.
And I'm 100% behind that. You know, because as the Great Spirit said, you know, or as not Great Spirit, I'm going to be in trouble if I get his silver birch. That's his earthly name. Yeah, as in that's where, you know, you know, we'll talk about those at a later date. But that's where you're, because Claude loves them, because obviously in Germany you get the elves and you get the energies that live in the fairies that live in the woods and stuff. You know. And you know, if anybody is from around the world and has you know, enjoys that more, you know, send us a link afterwards. You know, we'll perhaps have a chat, because once again, you know, being in Cornwall, which you both are, not saying I'm jealous in any way, shape or form, but I am.
Well, come back.
I can't get a house now, dear me. I'm off the council list now, dear me. But once again, if you're in Cornwall or if you're in Australia, you know, you've got woods, you've got space, you know, and it's having that space by yourself, being a sad person, but don't worry about being sad, because you're going to get, you know, so much things out of it. But once you're in that space being quiet, that allows your guides to come in and operate. Because when you're around kids, when you're around doing normal things, normal life, they will, you know, as we know, just sit in the back seat of the car. But when you're going down, you know, when you're in nature, when you're totally alone, not that they're stalkers in any way, shape or form, because this sounds like a stalker, but they'll jump on you. As in, you know, because they will see they will see that they can connect in that time, you know. So if you're going out for a walk, you just send up that thought and go, okay guys, I'm going out for a walk, you know, if you want to talk, if you want to connect, now is the best time. Because it was years ago, it's not so bad now, but every time I used to go for a walk, especially in Newquay, I used to be followed by Roman legionnaires thing, because obviously a past life in Roman times. But there was a whole army used to follow me, just down the road, and it was funny as hell, because I'd be marching, you know, walking, and I'd be going, I could feel loads of people behind me. But once again, they saw that was, you know, a time that they could come and link in. You know, and definitely not tonight, but next week. You know, that's where we will start. You know, and you know, by bringing you, you know, into that space of peace and quiet. You know, and you know, it's the old saying, which is true. You know, if you're happy within yourself, then you can project that, and people will see that. You know, and it is a case of going in yourself, and because as you know, and as as Tony knows as well, you know, if we are going to link with spirit, if we are going to invite them in, if we are going to get the understanding and the knowledge that they've got for us, we do have to clear out all of our baggage beforehand. All right. Which once again things may pop up like they do sometimes, you know, and we'll deal with them at the time, you know, because obviously we've got to, you know, clear ourselves of all the negative crap that we've been carrying around from other people, you know, or from other lives. Okay, which may sound scary and hard, but it's not at all. Because once again, things are that easy. Yeah. As in, you know,
Yeah.
as in I'm like, yeah, it's easy, Dez. And you're like, Dez, I'm the one that's got to tackle them. I've got to the one that understands. But once again, bad things happen. Well, I won't say bad things, but things happen in our lives that once again, we sometimes don't understand why they've happened. And that's where the guilt comes into it. And that's where the human emotion comes into it. Because we don't understand. Okay, but then with being linked in, you know, they will give you the understanding. You know, I've been married once before, and obviously at that time, when we got divorced, I was only 26, 27, you know, bloody broken hearted, like anybody at that age. But it wasn't until years to come I understood why I had that relationship and brought that relationship brought into my life. Then I understood it and understood why it had to happen. Okay, and everything that's happened in both of your lives and the people that are watching, everything that's happened is you know, in my frame of reference, you know, my thought pattern. It's happened for a reason. It's happened because it was meant to happen. You know, as Tony and all knows, as I know, sorry, it's Thursday night. It's quite nice working on a Thursday night instead of a Sunday, because I can say shit happens. It's like shit happens. We've got to deal with it then and there. But in time, we can look back and, you know, have that understanding about why that happened, why that loved one picked that life to be in with you and disappear. And that type of thing. And to me, that's how I get through life, is having that understanding and sitting back and going, right, okay, I can understand. Oh, right, it makes sense. And once it makes sense, you can put it away. You can put it away in a pigeonhole, in a box, whatever you want to do with it. Because it's been dealt with. You know, once you've understood it, you've dealt with it, you can say goodbye to it. Yeah, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm only looking at you because Tony's there as well. But I know that obviously through time we've all talked and stuff. But it's you know, but you know, once again, shit happens. Well, once we understand why it's happened, to me, then we can move on from that. You know, and then, you know, that gives you the greater understanding. So when you go and do your readings, you can take that box back at any time, you know, and go, yeah, I've been divorced, or I've had this, I've had that. How did I deal with it? Right, I can then tell the sitter, the person that I'm talking to, just like I'm doing here with all of you guys, you know, ladies, because there's a thing in the paper the other day saying, yeah, we're not allowed to call ladies guys anymore. So sorry, girls, I don't know where that came into it, where you suddenly change sexes, but over the last 10 years you have. But girls, you'll be able to tell the sitter how you got over things, how you understand things, and then that will help them. And this is all to do with, you know, this is about readings, about mediumship. This is all that we're there to do, is to help that person in front of us. Whether it would be through their understanding that the loved ones is still, you know, still alive in spirit, you know, or give them your life experience of how you got over things and dealt with things. Because once again, if you're reading or if you're sitting somebody, again, there's, you know, you've been linked up for a reason. You know, and as I tell people, and as I tell Tony and the people that are watching, you know, if you don't like me, I don't worry about that. Find somebody that you do like and do understand, because that's the main thing, is finding somebody that you relate to, and you can go, right, yeah, Des is a bit of an idiot, but I can relate to this, and find somebody, you know, because at the end of the day, is like, if you link with spirit, doesn't matter if it's through me, through my help, through somebody else's help, as long as you have that connection, that is the main thing. And you'll probably never hear a clairvoyant or a medium say that in the world. They don't really give a damn. But at the end of the day, you know, you find your teacher, and in the end of the day, people will find their medium, their clairvoyant. Yeah, through your experiences shared, you know, past or have you, you know, and over the next couple of weeks, this is what we'll be doing with you and the larger group. You know, is bringing all of this in together. And to me, you know, it's you know, it's they give me the thing about linking everything up, because everybody's got pinholes everywhere. We just got to join the dots. That's the word. Thank you. Joining the dots. So you've got all these dots of where you've been, where you're going, what you're doing in the middle, and we just got to join them all together. So at the end, you can go, right, I know how I got here. I know why I've got here, and I know what to do now I'm here. Yeah. And as I said, with Tony, you know, doing the paranormal stuff, we'll be able to work on that as well in weeks to come, because I've got some trigger objects that I'm going to get going, just purely just to see again, you know, because, you know, we're talking about spirit, we want to link in with spirit, and I've also had a big thing about, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Once again, as a group, if we could get to a stage where we can get a bell to ring and have communication with the spirit through something material in this world, then we're getting somewhere again. Not saying that they're going to jump through hoops, but they are willing to work with me with this one as well. Okay, because we've all done Ouija boards and stuff, but yeah, I'd love to be able to call somebody in from the world of spirit and go, you know, is your name Jane? Two rings for yes, one for no, and they go, oh, so it's not, oh, it's Bob, what have you. But if we could, within the group, because obviously we are Australia now bound, so with the energy that hopefully we'll be able to produce between us all, that's something for the background as well. Okay, because once again, I know that there's people that are watching, that are listening, that are into the not physical, well, the physical evidence or material evidence. Okay, which hopefully we will work with as well. Charlie's like looking at Des now. No, I've only signed up for the medium bit.
No, because I am interested in that.
You are.
Yeah.
No, which is cool, because I see next week you'd been used to this type of format, so you won't be, you know, you'll be more up front, shall we say?
And relaxed.
As well, yeah, because obviously this one was just to get everybody together, you know, get this lovely feeling that the three of us has got, you know, and build on that. You know, and as I said, you know, Tony knows some. I won't get the ghost app because that's going. But those type of things that we'll be able to stream as well. You know, and have a little screen in the corner, you know, that tells us when spirit are close and stuff like that. You know, because once again, we would like to experiment. You know, we're not just going to do the mediumship thing. As I said to everybody, this is like universal. This is how, you know, get to know the universe that you're in, you know, and the life that you're in. All right, you know, and with that, the connection will come. the stronger the connection will come, the easier it will be to, give people readings, or go into, like the people watching, go into a haunted house and sort it out. Because me and Tony know best. That she's done more investigations than I have. But the worst thing to do is to go into a property or go to help somebody and not have the knowledge or the understanding too. And we see it on the TV, frustrates the hell out of probably everybody that are watching when you see a ghost hunting thing and they find a spirit and it's a lovely child and you're going, yeah, what does a child want? And they're like, don't know, it's just making noise, and they'll leave the little boy child or the little spirit child there, and the child's going, I just want to go home, mate, I just need help. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Tony, because I know you've got experiences in this.
I know program that I watched them because some of them are for.
Yeah, we will have to sort out a mic for later. That's cool. Can you say that one again?
I said I do watch the programs because it is fun to watch.
Yeah.
The way that certain people, and I'm not mentioning no names, so I don't need to, but how certain people work on these TV programs, and that they're just, like you said at the beginning, are just in it for the money.
Yeah.
That's not what it's all about.
No, and it's not, and it's shocking in a way, because I'm like, well, what are you going to do with that child? Are you going to link it up with its mother and spirit, or are you just going to leave it there? And they're like, we'll just leave it for the next group to come.
Exactly. As I say, without mentioning names, there is one that I do watch, or that I watch at the moment, that does pass them on, does send them over and reconnect them with their loved ones.
Oh, they do?
They don't just leave them in limbo.
Oh, cool. So we're not talking about the person that ripped a lot of people off about 10 years ago when they went bust and then reinvented themselves.
No.
No, that's it.
No, we're not talking about them.
His name doesn't start with the last letter of the alphabet.
No.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But yes. Anyway, that's okay. But once again, with Tony as well, we'll be able to talk about that, because she'll be able to share her experiences, and then we can say, how if we was, in that position, and as I said, in the next couple of weeks you will be learning about, how to do that, and it will become natural, so you'll have that understanding about, okay, there's a child here, and he wants to find it, then you'll have the know-how to call in their family from spirit, and for people who watch it, you'll be able to do that, with the understanding that your guide will link with their guide, and that guide will link, then they'll find their mother, find their, and bring the mother in to take the child back, or as I said to Tony earlier, there's actually members of the spirit world that go round and try to find the lost souls. So I'm only smiling because they were saying they hoover them up, Des. And I was like, well, this bloke goes around with a hoover. But no, but there is members of the spirit world that do look after the loved ones, the spirits that are not trapped, but as Tony was saying earlier, maybe want to stay around on this plane a bit longer than they should. So they do go around and like ask and go, "You right, mate? Do you want to stay here a bit longer?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, I'll come back in a year's time or whatever." And that's what we do. We call on the right people in the world of spirit to come and help. And then they will take, obviously, the spirit child, they'll take the spirit away, and that's, but with the understanding, because once you know how the spirit world works, to me, once again, I say to me, but it just makes it's common sense. and hopefully it will be common sense to all of you that are here and watching eventually, because it's the world that we come from and the world that we're going back to. So we know more about the spirit world than we do this world, because really we're only on the earth plane a couple of lives, compared to the billions of years that we've been alive, but as we all know, as soon as we're born, where that's taken away from us through upbringing, through not being aware, through going to school at a young age, that type of stuff. So much stuff gets in the way when we're a kid, that we don't care where we've come from, and two, we're going back there, so why bother? It's not until we get to the middle-aged bit that we think, okay, where have we come from? What's going on? So we're going to come up to 9 o'clock. So I've got to round up in a minute or two. So how do you think? I mean, obviously we haven't done any exercises, or we haven't done anything as such, because to me it was just a nice evening for the three of us to get together, to link up, see how things are going, with the technology, see if it all works, in our heads then for next week to actually start. So hopefully you'll come with lots of questions, and I know that you'll both be more talkative, as in because I'll be asking you questions and we'll be actually starting to do stuff. So Charlie, I mean, I know once again we talk, but if you was a newbie, would you be freaked out? And when I say newbie, a new person to this?
No, I think everything that's been explained today has been explained really well.
Yeah,
I think it would make me curious to know more.
Which is good, because that's the idea, is dropping that thing so they come back. People come back for next week to go, you never know. But obviously, because I'm only picking on you because obviously you've recently been to see people, etc. And once again, I'm not going to say is mine better or not, because I don't really care. But does the way that we're saying things, or the way that we're trying to portray, do you understand it?
Yeah, I said to you before, everyone's different, aren't they, in how they see and explain things. But with me personally, I've always just had that understanding with you make sense to me, even when you shouldn't.
Which is cool. Because I know with Tony, I'm exactly the same, because we go back a bit longer. I don't know. Is it longer? I don't know.
Do I need to say anything on that one?
No, is it 20 years or something? But yeah, but we're as cuckoo as the birds are. We're as crazy. But no, as I said, I'm glad that it's worked out that way, Charlie. Just because obviously you know that what obviously working with other people and other people in the circles, you know what people are asking, or what people are receiving, shall we say, as well. So yeah, you'll be able to bring that into next week, because obviously we will make this a Thursday night, as I say, because I babysit, so it's the best night for me, because I get home at 6, grab something to eat and straight into it then. I don't have to worry about rotas and stuff. So for the people that are watching, hopefully you've got something from this evening as well. One thing I will play just before we go, because it is literally only two minutes, and if I don't, I will see it there in my links and go, I forgot that, because this is, excuse me, Silver Birch again. I say it in that way, but this is about service, and we talked about service earlier, but this is just once again a 2-minute clip, and I think this should round up the evening pretty good.
Question: has there ever been as good communication between the spirit world and this earth as there has been through spiritualism. It has been in bursts of inspiration which have been occasional but not sustained. Now it is organised, harnessed, controlled, regulated. It is all part of one vast plan. A plan that is far more coordinated than you can ever realise. The organisation that is behind communication is massive and worked out in masterly detail. It has all been arranged. When it was decided to open the doors of the spirit world, it was done deliberately, so that once the doors were opened, they could never be closed again. Service through mediumship. You have the inestimable privilege of giving a service that nobody else, not being similarly gifted, can render in your world. Your heart should rejoice to overflowing at the wonderful opportunities presented to you almost daily. But remember that knowledge always brings responsibility. Never forget that you are entrusted not only with a sublime truth, but with a sublime power, a divine power, the power of life itself, with all that it possesses. To help generate and vitalize is a great responsibility. You will not be led astray. You will always be shown the way. Go forth. Each day brings your wonderful opportunities to serve that should enable you to have an exhilaration of spirit.
And there we have it. And I was glad that I did actually play that there, because obviously it talked about responsibility and power, which we can talk about obviously next week. So we'll open up that for the people that missed it, because once again, with what we're talking about, with what we're going to be doing, getting involved with people's lives, etc. The responsibility that comes from that, is sublime, and I got a feeling that this is where I get frustrated with the new form of being taught, is that they never talk about the responsibility or the power that you will have at your fingertips. And as I said, power, as long as you use it correctly and share it, it's brilliant. But people are keeping it to themselves and making it, inaccessible for some reason. So for the people that are watching, thank you, and we'll join us next week, 7:30, and we will talk about the responsibility and the power and the service. And that's going to freak everybody out, and nobody will join us. But as I said, this show isn't designed for that. Me, Tony, and Charlie will still be here, having a chat, talking about spirits, going through some exercises, fingers crossed, but opening up, and it was brilliant as well about Silverbert said about when the doorway is open, it never closes.
Yeah, I did pick up on that bit.
Yeah, I know. And there's clairvoyance mediums trying to teach you how to close the door.
Close down, yeah.
I know. It's like I dropped the mic. It's one of those mic drop things, isn't it? Bang! Just before you go.
Yeah.
Because once again, that's what people are doing, and that's why I'm glad I ended up. And we'll probably begin next week with that, just to refresh us. But yeah, once the door is open, it cannot be closed. But if you speak to some clairvoyants, you can open and close the door whenever you want. Anyway, swiftly moving on. Right, thank you, ladies, for joining me this evening. And as I said, it's the start of something very special. And hopefully, as I said, if if somebody comes to me in months, years to come, and goes, I've had a reading from Charlie, or I've spoken to the girl, and they blew me away. That's all we want. And Tony's blowing people away already. That's why she's quiet tonight. Which we won't go on. She's getting names and addresses already. Okay, but we're not going on to that bit yet. Because you'll be putting me to shame, I tell you. But once again, if we can do that, is brilliant. Well, thank you for obviously joining me. Thank you for watching as well. And as I said, it's designed in a way that you can just log in at any time and see the repeats, or not. It's not even repeated. It's just there. You just got to log on. But once again, tell your family and friends, and we'll be back next week at 7:30. And fingers crossed, maybe online Sunday as well for some readings. So it would be Sunday morning, Sunday evening Australian time, because I've got to link up with Angie and all from Australia, because they've had a big loss in the family as well. So we shall see. And I'm not saying these two will be joining me, but they will at some point. Okay. Well, I'll say at some point I'm going to link, like winking at you both. But once again, that's more the world beyond. Okay, but this is called the Delta, so it's just a place of meeting, having a chat, and hopefully, making everybody that listens a happier, better spiritual person. Right, on that note, I will end the stream. Goodbye. See you see you at the weekend. And bye from Charlie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And before we go, Charlie, what's your page? You do a page as well. Let's promote that a minute. Silent Whispers.
Silent Whispers. Yeah.
Silent Whisperers. If you link up with Charlie, I'll put a post in my page. She does a card every other day, or I won't say when, because it'll put pressure on it. Every day I've got to do it now. But she'll put a card up, and I must admit, the last couple you've done, I've been reading, and I'm like, are you sure you're not giving me a bloody reading, or what? Because I was like, yeah, that's me, shut up, that's me, shut up. But please join the Silent Whisperers, because as I said, she puts out a card, she writes, she links in, and as I said, if it doesn't mean anything to me, it means something to somebody, and it helps your day.
Thank you, Dez.